it wasn't until I was visible and I had something to say and I was more than what I looked that, oh. But then I think about the kid or the guy who's not outspoken, who's not athletic, who's not tuned in, tapped in, dialed in, who might not have a following, who don't have a social group, or I have a real identity. What about that man? He's getting overlooked. He's not he's not talked about. He's not heard, felt, or seen.
Welcome to Permission, the podcast. I'm Dr. T, and this is my sister,
Silvana, and we are two regular people talking about spirituality in our daily lives.
Each week, we're inviting you to the internal conversation. So let's get started.
With your permission. And we're back. Welcome back to Permission, the podcast.
Yeah.
Today we have a very special guest, and that's the name of our episode, the spiritual athlete.
Yeah.
Spiritual fitness.
I was going to say fitness, but no, the episode is called athlete, but you are, we call you the athlete.
I'm the athlete of spiritual fitness, yes.
Exactly. And so we are so excited to have you. Our podcast has been a platform for women's, for feminine energy, for women's voices, and we invited you because we wanted to have that welcome, that male divine perspective, and not just for men to hear, but for women in our community to give themselves permission to allow that energy to be part of the world and to deeply understand it, right? And so this is Eric Bigger.
Our first male guest.
Yeah.
I'm the first. Wow.
Yes.
Okay, let's go. One of one, huh?
Yeah, and it's funny because when we decided, right, that I remember that episode, we hung up, we had an amazing show we had three women guests, and we were like, I'm like, we need to open this to male energy. I told you, and you were like, okay. And then we hung up, and the first image I had was your face, and then I'm like, that gave me courage to act on that, and I'm
Permission.
like, okay, yeah,
Yes,
give me
exactly.
permission.
Yes.
Hello.
Let me act on this, and I reached out, and you were like, yes, let's do it, and I was like,
Mission activated.
yeah.
There's a lot of conversations about masculine energy. I mean, I'm a psychologist, so I hear it all the time about different perspectives of male energy, especially from women in New York dating. So it's a very interesting conversation that I get into, and being able to make sure that I'm having positive conversations about men in general, but also male role models. And it's an honor to have you.
Thank you. I really, listen, let's be clear. Thank you to the feminine is why I'm honored to be a part of this episode, Spiritual Athlete, and to give myself and everyone behind me, part of me, through me, permission to tap into the feminine, right? Which is the feminine of the universe, the feminine of themselves, their soul, and the spiritual currency that moves through all of us. That's most men, I can't say most, some men might not be as connected to as they could, because maybe they haven't given themselves permission to.
Exactly.
So, it's been a lot of work on this end, and I'm really honored by the feminine because the feminine has helped me in so many ways, and predominantly my clients are women. Right?
I know. I was telling
That's fascinating.
Tere about that.
So most of my clients, I would say 80% of my clientele is women. Do y'all want to go deep, or y'all want to keep it kind of on the surface?
No, let's go into it. What do you think that's about? We don't.
No,
do
I'm about
service.
to break it. I'm about to break it down. So, all right. So 2023, I went through awakening, and it actually what this spiritual fitness, this book is about. I went through awakening, right? Dark night of the soul, because I was in a relationship, right? And that relationship activated the spiritual awakening, right? For me to step into my divine truth, my divine self. And I went through a lot of darkness where it was hard, it was challenging. However, it put me on a journey of enlightenment beyond the visibility I had in Hollywood, the books I've written prior to this, the shows I've been on, all these things. And with that space, I walked into cacao ceremony, right? That really opened up my heart. And then from there, I got called to go to Peru to do plant medicine. But prior to that, I had a session with my astrologer, Mara astrologer. She's amazing. And she said, Eric, because my Pisces, I'm a Pisces sun, but my North Node, my destiny point is in Pisces 6th house. So anybody that knows astrology, your North Node is what you're here to live out. Your South Node is what you were in a past life. So you come into this life reincarnated with that energy. So I already came in this life with Virgo type energy. I want to help. I want to fix. I want to take care of people, right? So anyway, she said, most of your clients are going to be moms, right? And women. Because Aphrodite, the symbol of Pisces, is the mother who didn't want to leave the sun. My wound in life, I have a mother wound. And I thought my mother didn't love me when I was young. So it put me in my wounded masculine and wounded feminine because I couldn't receive love from the feminine. You get where I'm going?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
took on
Yeah.
this trajectory of like, I'm going to do everything by myself. I got this. And I thought I had more will and more power than the universe, all these things. Anyway, I go to, Peru. I do the things and I feel lighter. I feel better. The medicine moving through me, St. Pedro, Wachuma. My life is changing. My world is changing. And then what happened was I healed that wounded feminine in me, which was the receivership, right? Of the feminine within self, but the feminine of life. And so in my journey of helping so many moms, guess what else I was healing? That mother wound. And guess what was healing me? The feminine, the women I was helping. So I
Yeah.
was in true co-creation with the feminine who were moms and wives and business owners to heal the wound in me, to help them heal the parts they need to heal to become who they need to be. And over time, their life changed, their business changed, but they felt more safe with the masculine, right?
Right.
Because my masculine felt safe to express, to be vulnerable with, right? And then in the return, like literally this morning, I had a client tell me something, and she's like, Eric, I can't believe that I have this man in my life that makes me feel so safe, where I had a father wound most of my life. When I was with her, the first time she signed up was the beginning of the year, right? She didn't have anyone. She wasn't dating. She wasn't in a dating scene. I said, you know why? You know what happened? Is because God chose me to be in your life so you can feel safe with a masculine, so you can receive it and see the evidence that it is possible for you to fall into love, or for that love to find you from the masculine, to feel safe, to have true receivership of your divine oneness within, for you to be spiritually fit, right? In that part of you. And so it's interesting how when you're attuned or when you're in alignment, your soul gives you all the things to put things in place so you can go deeper into your essence to have healing, transformation, and all these things take place so other people experience that ripple through your soul, through your channel, and we become one as we come together. So it's just so interesting. Like now I understand, like, oh, that's true spiritual fitness. The masculine and the feminine coming together as wholeness, divineness, oneness, and we can be both, and we can feel safe, and we can actually co-create with the opposite gender. And it don't always have to be a partner or romanticized. It could just be, I feel safe with the feminine. They feel safe with the masculine. We can co-create something and create magic like we're doing in this podcast. And we're giving each other permission to be in the same space without friction or resistance. We can actually be spiritually fit. And then everything can come through. So it is.
And so it is. So that's fascinating, you bringing up the co-creation in dyads, right? Because you're talking about not necessarily intimate partnerships like you mentioned, but just being able to be in relationship one-on-one, opposite gender, and being able to create a safe space, and both of you creating a container in order for that to take place. That's magic.
Yeah. And the magic that's beyond that is that you deepen that opposite energy within yourself. So I deepen my femininity in me when I'm connected to the feminine, right? And
Yeah.
so same for them, they soften or, masculine. Kind of want to find a new word for masculinity for women because I kind of feel like it's been overused or been conceptualized to create it's okay to be in your masculine, it's okay to be in your feminine. It doesn't matter. But I do think sometimes we especially, I know have, right, judge women for being in their masculine as it can have a negative connotation, and as well as men being in their feminine. We all have both, right?
Both,
Right.
But
right.
it's about you having discernment when to use it, when to allow it. Because when I'm in spiritual fitness, I'm getting downloads. I'm attuned to my feminine energy, my spiritual essence, to actually help the woman in front of me tap into her human potential to feel her masculine and her feminine to be whole within herself. And so I say all that to say everything in life I realize is about trust and safety. Do I feel safe and do I trust the parts of me that I don't see or have evidence in? Therefore, I believe it, I do it, I know it, and life is created from that. And I'm not in competition with the feminine or the masculine of self. I can co-create with both and become the family of that within, and I can live a fulfilling life. So it's all part of the paradigm of being human, right?
Absolutely.
So in this world where, you were talking about how, you know, men, not just men, in general, women, men, we've been taught how or told to be strong, to be resilient, but rarely thought to be vulnerable, right? To be open. And I know you dedicate your Mondays to Men Mondays. And that's amazing. And I've jumped in there at
We there
least
today. We there
twice. Yeah,
today.
I've jumped in there a couple of
Yeah.
times because I do also have men clients. And so that I help out, and it's very helpful to hear men voices. What is a truth about the modern male perspective that you think women most often misunderstand or overlook?
I think what women, I can't say they overlook, what I think they probably misunderstand is the struggle the man has in his femininity to express his true vulnerability and feelings, to be understood, felt, and heard at the same time. Like the feminine might understand, but she might not feel. She might not feel or see the point of view because the truth of it all, women can deal with more stress and pain than men. That's just what it is, right? And you have a stronger bandwidth when it comes to things of that nature because you're wired that way. So when we're complaining or we're in a space of lacking depth or vulnerability, when we do get in that space, I want to say all times, it's like an unconscious judge. Like we're getting judged unconsciously. Same way when women, they say women are too emotional, can't be in leadership. It's kind of like this paradox of like the same thing, just on the opposite end of it. So when women are in their masculine, they're too masculine, right? When men are in their feminine, they're too feminine. So it's just it's like a social construct of paradigm that is trusted because of the conditioning. And so then when men become vulnerable in a way, maybe their vulnerability is not in perfect timing of the feminine they're speaking to, right? So then if that feminine or that woman can't receive it, then they feel like she doesn't understand. Like, no, she does. You just probably can't articulate what you're feeling, or you don't want to be judged. So maybe you're halfway in that vulnerability. So I think we're missing each other because we're coming from a paradigm of perception that the world has conditioned us in. And men, if they don't feel safe, we don't even feel safe with one another to speak our truth because we're worrying about being judged. Then she's going to use it against me. He's going to use it against me. And this is why constant activation of our spirituality as men is going to deepen our feminine essence within us to trust that vulnerability to not only help us heal, but bring our woman closer in proximity of us to be more intimate, to grow and live and move with us and not push away, resist, or kind of have this separation because of consciousness. And so the main thing is that one, men don't feel safe to be vulnerable. Some women are not programmed to receive a man's vulnerability because you got to be strong, you got to be tough. And to be, in my experience as a man, if you're not adding value, no one cares about you. That's just what it is. I mean, that's just in the world. I've been in California for what, 16 years? The first 7, 8 years, no one was checking for me. No one was saying, you want to be on my podcast? No one was looking for me. It wasn't until I was visible and I had something to say and I was more than what I looked that, oh. But then I think about the kid or the guy who's not outspoken, who's not athletic, who's not tuned in, tapped in, dialed in, who might not have a following, who don't have a social group or I have a real identity. What about that man? He's getting overlooked. He's not he's not talked about. He's not heard, felt, or seen. Right? But we don't ever think about that guy. We just think like, oh, because we don't see him. Why do we care about the person we don't see?
Right.
So I think that's also a thing that I had to learn because I had a young guy come into my presence that was 17 that his mom wanted me to help him. And I realized he wasn't outspoken. He wasn't really social like that. He was very smart, very intellectually sound, but he just wasn't, out there. He just, he was different. He didn't play sports, right? Sports gave me an identity. I was a basketball player. So that gave me a group. They gave me a social status. They gave me like, oh, at least I'm a ball player. Now, what do you do for the kid who doesn't have any of that? How do we relate to him, to connect to him, to help him, to understand him, to help him grow? No one thinks about it because no one's talking about it. So that's why I said that statement. If you're not adding value to the world, no one cares. Not that it's all absolute truth, but it's somewhat true for most men. And so that's why they want to make money. They want to lift weights. They want to buy cars and because they think that is valuable, right? But that really is not. It's kind of like the shadow side of it. But when you get into the gift of it, which is accepting, loving, and belonging to yourself and accepting all parts of you, people don't have to see your value. They feel it when you're in their presence. You don't have to talk. You don't have to show. You just can be present. But men don't understand that depth in most cases because we haven't been wired that way.
Right.
It's like, oh, man, you just talking, man. Show me your bank account. Oh, you just talking. Where's your car? Where's your girls? That's what we've been programming is the masculinity, which is the material of life and not what you can't see, but you can feel, which is the feminine of life.
Is that where you would start? Like when this mom came to you and said, hey, I want you to help my 17-year-old, would you start with the internal value and start from there?
I think I would start with where we connect. Because where I feel like I was disconnecting, I was trying to relate based on what I experienced at that age. Well, I was playing basketball at 17. I already had an identity. I already had a group of friends, right? Because I was playing ball. So then I said, hold on, let me take a step back. What is he like? Oh, he likes YouTube. He likes learning. He's smart. Oh, I can relate to that. So I think we don't relate enough to connect enough,
To
right?
connect, right.
And so then once I have that relation with that connection, then I can go inside. Right. But if I try to go inside and understand what's on the outside or what's thinking, then I don't really understand who's from in front of me. I'm assuming. So I like to, because that used to be my challenge, especially being visible a lot. I always was like, look at me, but no one could connect to that part of me because they can't relate to the experience. But if I say, hey, I went through hell and high water. I was depressed. I was sad, but I look happy. Right? What? Oh, tell me more. And you're what? What happened? You look happy. I'm not happy though. I just want some love. Then their guard dropped, and then now we're in a space together. But if I'm like, yeah, look, guys, I wrote a book. I'm on shows. Like, cool story. But who are you?
Right.
So relatability and vulnerability is the way to the soul. And I think most men, at least in my experience, I feel like we don't relate if it's not a material thing that's connecting us, wherever it be what you have, what you look like, wherever you're following, your social status. And I think that's the disconnect because then we don't know how do I connect to him if I'm not like him? We're women to just meet up, talk, hang out. So it's all about relation and vulnerability and connection, I think, for men to kind of get out of their egos and into their bodies to feel what their heart wants to come through and not their minds.
That's fascinating with the missing each other, right? So
Yeah.
I often have men coming into therapy and having moments in their relationships where they're expressing their vulnerabilities or placing a limit or saying, I can't do this. I'm going to have to walk away or something like that. And oftentimes I hear that the female partner has a hard time accepting or embracing the vulnerability because it's so programmed to not be there, right?
Yeah.
And that friction of you're the dude.
Right.
Be the dude.
Why are you crying?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I've gotten that too. Like one of my male patients actually said that, and I was like, "Oh, let's unpack that."
Yeah. And it's funny because I went to a men's retreat like 2 years ago, and most of the guys there were husbands, and said they jeopardized speaking the truth because they didn't want to lose connection, right?
Mm.
So what I've learned is that when you speak the truth, you deepen the connection, and it might not be in the moment you speak the truth, because she might not like it, can't accept it, won't embrace it, but over time, it's not about any party, but it's not about the other accepting the truth in the moment. The truth always allow it to come through for you to connect because it's true. You can't run from the truth no matter if you like it or not. It just is. So even if it doesn't connect to a positive part of the relationship, it connects to the shadow part that brings you into the positive part because it's truth. The truth will set you free. But we're so afraid of the truth that we run from it. But with more truth, more freedom comes. And that's what men don't feel safe in because of the perception that you just was told you can't cry, because she doesn't like that because she can't accept that part of her.
Right.
Because if she was evolved or somewhat aware, she will be able to understand and see like, oh, because when she gets in that space, she wants to be, accepted, embraced. And so maybe this works for women, and I'll share this because this works for me in my business. When I see a woman, a female client, or anyone that I know crying or upset or super emotional or maybe overwhelmed, I just see the little girl in her.
Yeah.
So I'm coming. If I was a dad and my daughter came to me frustrated, overwhelmed, crying, upset, would I judge her? Would I belittle her? Would I not listen to her? Or would I accept and try to understand where she at so I can help her? So that has worked in my practice. And I think the problem is for the feminine, especially with men, they're tired of mothering the masculine, right? So,
Yeah.
and I think because they're in the opposite end of that, because that has been the history behind every successful man, there's a woman. So the woman does all the work, just like a mom would, and the man gets all the accolades and his success. And guess what? He's not responsible for his feminine. When he's
Right.
lacking emotional depth, emotional intimacy, or lack of mental stimulation, he's not held accountable to that. He's rewarded and he's made more money, more famous, more successful. Then he might even cheat on his spouse, and he's celebrated. So that's what I said. We're missing each other because now the roles have switched where the feminists like, yeah, we're in power now. What's up? But if that power is not evolved, they're just going to repeat what they saw the masculine do. You get what
Right.
I'm saying? Because it's a replica. It's a blueprint. You saw it, so you became it, and you think this is what it is. But I believe women alone don't just want power if they don't have love. To have like all the masculine stuff and not have the essence of the feminine, which is the love, the nurturing, the gentleness, the softness, the allowing, the trust. It's not that it's not going to work. I just feel like the soul of the feminine vessel really wants love deep down inside if they can, so they can release and be fulfilled more than what the money, the power, the fame will give them,
Absolutely. I
you
agree.
know? So,
Yeah. Let's talk about your book. So
Yeah.
Was that too
I
heavy?
ordered. No.
It's
It's
perfect.
perfect.
Okay.
I ordered my copy. I was a little
Yeah.
disappointed that I'm not gonna get it till August
Yep.
because I was like, Daddy, I'm gonna order his book and I'm gonna read it before we meet. And she's like, you're gonna read it in 3 days? And I'm like, if I have it, yeah, I can read it in 3 days.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, I had to pre-order. So I just want to get this in. A question for you.
Yeah.
It would be when I read this book, I would be like, what would be the one thing you want me and everyone to take from it? Like I read a lot of books and there's
Yeah.
sometimes one thing I always connect to that one book. Like right now we do a morning ritual with my sister. Every morning we write our goal 3 times. I send it to her. She sends her to me. She records her voice reading it. I record my voice reading it, and we both are doing this in the morning. And that came from one book.
That came from a book, yeah.
Wow.
Okay, change your paradigm, change your life. Now,
Wow.
what would be the one thing that if anyone reads your book, you just want them to take with them and to just always connect it to your book and to you, really?
I think the thing that's coming in that's strong, which is interesting, is to feel who you really are inside without any receipts on the outside. To really feel who you really are. And that's just it. Wherever
No
it's
filter.
no filter. Just
Authenticity.
Authenticity, transparency, love, light, whatever. Like,
All of it.
because this
Yeah.
book, right? If you look at this photo, it's like deep meditative. Maybe I'm praying, maybe I'm in silence. But I was afraid to show this to the world. But this is the real me. Because I'm deep. I have depth. Not because I want to, just because I believe I've been here before. So most of my content, I'm smiling. Right? Which is part of me. But I have to accept the part of me that I was afraid of, who is actually who I am deep down inside. And when you read the book, you're going to feel and understand my energy, but you're also going to understand your energy. Because I don't want your power. I want you to tap into your power. I want you to tap into your custom channel. I want you to know what is your spiritual fitness, not what I'm saying. I'm giving you experiences and stories from my paradigm and perspective. I want you to extract how does this relate to your life, to who you are, and what you're here to be. Because if you tap into your spiritual fitness and your co-creation of you, of self, your masculine and your feminine, what does a divine soul of you create for the world that changes the world and shifts the frequency for its highest good? I'm just sharing who I am, what I am, and I want to give you a piece of that to tap into what you are, what you need to give your spiritual fitness or your design or your autonomy or sovereignty over self that can help the world. And you tap into that, and then that's the ripple. And we're all benefit. It's not just I, it's we.
That's amazing. And so this morning I had she's a friend too, but she's also one of my clients. And she had called me and said, do you have 8 minutes? Because we have this thing about the 8 minutes. If you can just spend 8 minutes with someone, you can, let them know you're there for them, calm the nervous system, listen, whatever they need, right? And so she said, do you have 8 minutes? And she went on and talking about what she was dealing with. And then I said to her something because I said, look, today I'm recording the podcast with, the spiritual athlete. And I said to her, and I was thinking about what's the greatest permission I have given myself this year or ever really. Because it was something I also wanted to ask you, but in the thinking of it, I went back to the trip. We just came back from Italy, from Sicily, and I had a day by myself in Palermo. After being with my sisters and people, I had one day for myself and I walked 11 miles. And in walking those miles, I was being grateful for everything. I was being grateful for just for loving myself. And then I said, oh my God, I am in love with myself. And not only that, like I am in love with every single version of myself before me. the younger me, the one that made mistakes, the one that took the wrong turn, the one, because all of those versions of myself brought me to being right here, right now, in this moment, in this essence, in this me. And I was walking through a cathedral. I was this guy playing music, and I was just like, oh, in this love affair with myself. And I'm walking by, and I saw the musician. He had basically played music, and I felt like I was in this movie. And this was Silvana 10 years ago, and she did this, and she did that. And then I'm like, and I kept asking myself questions. Would you change anything? Absolutely anything you've done? And I'm like, no, because it brought me to where I am right here, right now. And I was telling her this, and to finish the story, because this is really cool. I'm walking behind the cathedral. I come around, and I give whatever change I had, I gave to the musician. And he looked up to me and he said, "I love you." And I was like, just exploded with gratitude, because I knew there was a message from me. It had nothing to do with him.
Yeah.
It was just like, I needed to hear that. Like, you're loving yourself, and love is coming to you. The universe loves you. And so I just exploded in gratitude. I tapped my chest. I didn't even make eye contact with him again after that. I went like this, and I turned around and I left in like floating. I could have danced away into the sky.
You were flying.
Yeah, and so what I'm trying to go with this is that, as I was thinking about, because I kept thinking about, okay, what is spiritual fitness, and what does that mean, and all of these things. And I was telling my friend, because I was going to ask you, what's the biggest
Yeah.
permission you've given yourself? And I was telling my friend, this is what I came up with. Love yourself, and as I'm giving her that message, and she's just like, whoa, okay, how did you get there? And it's just like, I don't have an exact moment. It just happened throughout all of these events, and just
Yeah.
gathering myself up, from without darkness, there's no light, right? And just being able to embrace all of me. And so, that being said, my question to you is, what's the biggest permission you've given yourself?
I think, y'all channel must be so open, because I'm getting it's coming straight through, like clear. I don't got to think. So the answer is not to be liked, but to be real. Because I spent most of my career wanting to be liked. And it stopped me from being real, which is the true essence. And it's funny because I'm so busy today, and I had this thread that came through right before the call. And I said, how can I be more genuine and authentic to the vibration of spiritual fitness and not try to button it up? Right? Because I really wanted to kind of take the laptop, go to the business center where it's a nice background, wear a button up. I kind of wanted to button up, but I'm like, but why? What are you doing that for? And so I realized, like, what's wrong with how you are? Right? Because then in the
Exactly.
space I was in, it was always about the presentation. But this is the presentation you're in right now. What's wrong with it? Right? So
Perfect.
the more real I can be, I don't need to be liked, because then I already know I like myself.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Right.
You're
But if
right.
you realize, like and love are two different things, because there's people we love that we don't like.
For sure.
And like
Yeah.
is a stronger frequency if you really think about it. You love this person, but you can't stand them. You love this person, but I don't really like their attitude. So, and I learned that from my woman. And I was like, damn, babe, that's kind of deep. Well, okay. Right. And she said something profound. And I want to share this because maybe y'all can help me unpack. So what she shared was, people tell me they love me all the time. And I love that. And I respect that. But I'm not sure if those people really like me. She said, I got a family at home, my siblings, my family. I know they love me. It's not that I'm not looking for love. I know I have that at home, but do you like me? And I was like,
Mm,
wow, like this is a different,
that's a different perspective for sure.
right. So
Right.
then I go deeper into that a few months ago, or maybe a month ago. I got a download where I was like, the people who win in life are the people who got love at home, who have support. So when they go out in the world, they don't care if you don't like them or love them. Cool. You don't got like I got my family at home. And then the people who don't have love at home, they want to be liked. They
Yeah.
want validation because they don't have that at home. So that's why they usually say that hoes or the narcissistic or the people who are, is because they had love growing up, right? Not everyone, but they can kind of, they know they're going to get what they got at home or what they want at home. So they ain't got to look for it in the world. Where people who don't have love at home, they're looking for it in the world.
Starving. Yeah.
Right. So that's why some people who grow up with a more solid foundation, not that it's better, because I've met people who had that and it's different. So I'm not projecting for infinite absolute. But if you look at the paradigm and you look at the energetics, it does help when you have in life to have that strong support system. So when you go out in the world, your confidence is not inflicted by somebody's opinion or what you're not getting or rejection, right? This is what I believe because I've watched patterns within people. I'm like, oh, so you had a good childhood. Yeah, I was spoiled. Oh, that's why you're entitled. Oh, okay. Not that it's bad.
No.
Because the world supports entitled people. Entitled people are confident. Entitled people have faith. Entitled people have certainty. Entitlement is just a shadow part of those people. Right?
Right. Yeah.
So I've learned that everything comes from somewhere and nothing just appears because it's there. It's something that they're lacking or something that they have. And not to be like and to be real is what I want. Because for me, and this is why I want people to get into their spiritual, being real actually helps me better than being like. Now, for some people, being like might help them be more real. You get what I'm saying? And so
Yeah.
this is me extracting, like, you have to be you for you and not you for me. Right? But
Mm-hmm.
most times in my life and prior, I was always trying to be me for you and not me for me.
Mm.
Because when I'm me for me, then I can be more what you need for us and not just for you. If that makes sense?
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
I've heard about it from the lens of fitting in
Yeah.
versus belonging,
Ooh.
and that there's a big gap to jump from one to another.
Yeah.
I feel like the fitting in is the thing that is almost kind of forced upon, especially during
Yeah.
school years of like, no, you just have to do this and then you'll just fit in.
Right.
Fake it
Right?
till you
Don't
make
be
it.
weird. Don't be
Right,
weird.
right, right.
How did you manage that? Because that's a really big kind of transformation there.
That's a great question. That is really good. Like, I could tell you do this work. I love this question. And the reason I say I love these questions because I understand what it's doing inside of me because it's getting me to answers I never thought about. The reason how I managed that, why I was so good at being who I was, because I was always a leader. I was never a follower. So I had no problem making a decision or being something. The challenge was I didn't want to be more of what I was called to be, so I wanted to fit in. But I only fit in because I stood out. If I
Right.
didn't stand out, I couldn't fit in. So I had to be outstanding. I had to be something for me to fit in. And think about it. Like when you have a talent, whether it's basketball for me, or you have charm, or you have a look, like, right? It makes you stand out.
Right.
So it's easy to fit in. Now, if you don't have that, I'm not saying that it won't fit in. It's not, I don't think it's as easy to fit in. Right?
Yeah.
Based
No
on
one's going to
the
ever
right.
tell
Based on the standards. Yeah.
right. There's never going to tell someone who has everything that they need anything because they have it. But the people who might have everything actually might need everything because they don't know how to enjoy what they have because they have too much of it. So we're in the way, and that's i.e. looks, i.e. money, i.e. confidence, that they're not in the opposite end of it, so then they can't really receive it. So I couldn't receive the power I had or the leader I was because I was in a lack of belonging and being liked and being accepted. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
And then because I got older, guys was like, bro, like you were better than everybody. I'm like, for real? How? Because I never had the acknowledgement of self because I'm always looking for it outside of myself. Because I didn't get it growing up. But I had it where it's still because I was a leader. Oh, of course you know that. But even because I embodied it like I knew, I still didn't believe it the way they saw it. So I couldn't receive it. And I always give the story of Steph Curry, right? Steph Curry, y'all know who Steph Curry is, right?
I
So
think he's an athlete.
yeah, he's an athlete, right? He played for the Golden State.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like I
he
think
plays
he's a
for the
football player, right?
basketball. He's
Oh,
basketball.
okay.
So he's Steph Curry. He's a basketball player for the Golden State Warriors. He's broke the NBA record for like 3-point shots, right?
Yes, and I seen his videos because my son's, he would be like all the way the hell outside of the court. He just like.
So imagine that Steph Curry,
Yeah.
but not in that archetype of being a guy who's that good. So that guy, that energy, just say that archetype is at the YMCA. And everybody's telling Steph Curry just in the YMCA, Steph Curry, he's just shooting the ball. He's an athlete. Like, yeah, I can shoot. But they're like, bro, you really can shoot. You're like, what do you mean? Oh, you can shoot. But we think he know that. He don't know that. So by him not having a right perspective and perception of self, of his jump shot, he doesn't make it to the NBA, right?
Yeah.
But then he's able to connect the dots. Oh, shit, I can really shoot. My God, I'm shooting with a different intention now. I'm shooting with a different purpose. Then that Steph makes it to the NBA. So I was in that space of not knowing my strengths or my power, what I was good at, because I was looking for validation in the wrong way instead of accepting and validating myself, right?
That's amazing.
And so that's where I was like, oh, and so I needed the validation or the acknowledgement or to make me feel like I'm superior. Where people already thought I knew that. It's crazy. Yeah.
It's funny because you're going back to what you said earlier about love and like. I use it the opposite way. So I use it like I can send you a conditional love, but I don't have to like your avatar.
Right.
Right. And so because I can't, like, I know we're all light anyway. We're all oneness. And I know that this avatar is part of me and I'm part of him based on that. So I'm not going to send you anything negative. I'm going to send you love because sending you love is sending me love. Right? And so that's how I view the whole love and like I can unconditionally love absolutely everybody.
Yeah.
But I don't have to like your avatar. That's how I say it. And but you flipped it and then I'm like, oh, but that's clever too.
Well, I say I love everyone. I do. Yeah. I love everyone. I just don't like too many people.
Oh, we taking this to a whole nother thread. We going like, case study of love and like. No, I love it though. Because it makes you think like, oh, I never thought of that. Because it made me think like, I really don't like a lot of people, but I love everyone. Because I really do. And I think most people are likable. It's just things. And I feel like when we don't like someone, it's something in us that we might not like or accept in ourselves. Because I don't know, y'all got this energy here. There's a thing I got to you a few months ago about being visible and not being accepted by everybody, right? So if I'm on a stage, I'm speaking spiritual fitness, positivity, whatever, everyone's not going to accept or like that. That's fine. But it's not about them liking or accepting something I'm putting out. It's about that I like it and I accept it. And how do I discern and feel about those who don't like and accept it? Right? Do I take on a shadow energy of taking it personal? Or do I say, well, I don't like your stuff? Or do I just hold space and say, look, I'm not here for you to like it. I'm not here for you to love it. I just know I'm here to give it to the world. And then the world going to do what it needs to do to bless those who need to receive it. But when we get caught up in, for me, taking it personal if someone doesn't accept or taking what I say out of context, then now they got power over me. Instead of saying, what is my heart saying about this piece of material? And what is it supposed to do in the universe beyond my time here? And what am I leaving inside of people when I leave them?
Right. You're giving them your energy, your thought, your time.
Permission. I'm giving them permission. My permission slip.
That's funny. I always think what other people think is none of my business.
Yeah.
That's my that's my go-to, like, hey, whatever your thoughts are, it's none of my business.
Right, and I had to also learn that because I would be so excited for people's change,
Yeah.
more excited than them because I can see it, I can feel it, I'm an empath. I can feel their emotions, and I can also feel like, okay, this is where you can be, and I can see it. I can see the energy. Sometimes I can see aura, and so I'm like really excited for their change, but they're not. So they're not as excited as me, and then I'm like, okay, back away. They need to take the steps now. You can't do it for them, and the information you provide and what they do with it, it's their path. I have to love and respect that. Respect everyone's journey. Everyone is in a different spot, in a different place. You know where they're heading, right? They communicate that.
Absolutely.
And it's
Yeah.
amazing that you can help, or you could be a tool, or you can be a guide, or your book can maybe get them there, or whatever, you listening, or anything, a workout routine you give them.
Yeah, and I think to go back to that question a few moments ago, I think also what came to me is be the evidence. Period.
Mm,
That's it.
yeah.
I don't have
Tere
nothing to
always
say,
says,
nothing to do, just be the evidence and let the evidence
mhm.
be the permission slip.
Yeah. Tere always says, I never tell my clients to do something I don't practice.
Yeah.
Right. And that's a
Because it
good
doesn't
one.
make sense. Like, I'm telling you to do something I wouldn't do. Come on.
Right, right.
Like, what?
Or I haven't
Yeah.
done, right?
Right. Right. So that's interesting. The piece about, like, I guess it would be criticism or people kind of looking at what you or I or we're doing and being able to say X, Y, and Z. I feel like triggering people is a gift because it really facilitates a moment where they can have for themselves of like, okay, there's something very upsetting about this, and they're placing it onto you or me or us or whatever the case is, and in reality it has nothing to do with us. And that is a gift that we can provide,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Yeah.
I want to trigger the shit out of people. I do. Because then that if if someone has the ability to take that moment and take a step back, that is all it takes, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's magic.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I was listening to Tony Robbins. He was like, "No one triggers you; you trigger you."
Exactly.
Ooh, I like that.
Exactly.
And
No
when
one
you hear
triggers.
that, you're like, "Yeah, why am
That's
I taking this
true.
personal? No one triggers you; you trigger you." And when you say you invite people into the trigger, and you realize, like, "Hey, you gotta look at the mirror," because that wasn't my intentions to make you feel that way. You chose that based on your perspective and where you are. And in most situations, if people are being triggered, they're projecting what they don't want to accept in themselves. I don't like this person. They just talk too much. And well, maybe you don't talk enough, right?
Exactly.
So it's always a reflection in a way that we can't accept because maybe we can't see it or maybe there's a blind spot. So when I took responsibility for that, I was like, okay, I'm taking this personal unconsciously because of what? What am I not trying to accept in me that that part of me is trying to show me so I can remove it and resolve it and move on to the next phase of my ascension.
I always wonder when I'm upset about something, I'm 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 kind of very aware of, okay, I need to figure this out for me. This is mine. Because anytime you pull someone in, like you were talking about pulling someone into your trigger, it's very disempowering to the self.
Uh-huh.
Like, if you triggered me, then that leaves me powerless. and I'm not going to give that to you. You know what I mean? Like then
Right.
that leaves me in a place of nothingness. I can't do anything with that.
And the thing is, it's good, like you said, to trigger people if we're coming from the opposite end, because there's situations where I used to avoid confrontation because I don't want it to be messy, or I don't like negativity. But now I invite it. Like, no, let's talk about this. This is uncomfortable. You
Yeah.
don't want to talk? Yeah, and I know. I'm sorry. That wasn't my intention, but let's talk about this uncomfortable, crucial conversation. Or I didn't even know that triggered you or that bothered you. I really was trying to, pour into you. But maybe I don't know their paradigm or where they're at in that receivership. And maybe I'm trying to control how they receive what I'm giving, right? And maybe that's something I should learn, because maybe they can't relate to my way of being. And I've learned that being in California, especially LA for 15 years, and then just moving to Orange County. In LA, people are always trying to become something, chase something, get something, be something. It's different in Orange County, where people are more stable, they're more relaxed, they more kind of have their life together somewhat. So they're not in this constant energy of trying to gain, where that's what I'm used to. Let's go for it. Let's go. I'm not used to the day-to-day of life. I can't relate to that. I'm like, so if I'm not doing this thing, I feel like I'm struggling. But that's only a paradigm and perception from what I was programmed into living in Hollywood, where it's nothing wrong with nothing happening. Like, you don't have to feel space because nothing's in the space. Maybe you're the space that you need to feel, that you're trying to fill the void for. So it's
I need to
interesting.
get into more of that energy.
Yeah. But I had to leave LA to kind of experience, like, oh, wow, it's quiet here. It's less stimulation. It's clean. It's not a lot going on. Oh, let me distract myself and do something, because I don't know how to sit in this.
Are you
So, yeah,
enjoying it?
I love it.
Nice.
Because you know why? I can feel more.
Mm.
I can feel my feelings more. I don't have too much other energies and frequencies in my vibration, because it's not a lot of stimulation here.
Yeah.
So I have more clarity in my vessel. I'm able to actually receive life more. Like, oh, wow, look what I get to do. And, oh, it feels good. There's been times I'm like, damn, it feels kind of lonely or different out here. All because I'm not used to things not being busy. Or so now I'm like, the real spiritual fitness is being in silence and being present. And
Yeah.
born is the real wealth, not busyness.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
That's been a
I
hard
love
lesson
it.
for me this year.
Yeah.
I mean, I live in Hell's Kitchen, New York.
Oh, yeah. I
So
was just there. Oh, my God. I don't know how you do it. I was just like, what the freak is going on, New York? I forgot. I need
She
to get back
loves
to Orange
it.
County.
She loves it.
I live like a 15-minute walk from Times Square. So I'm really in it.
So let me ask you a question. Are you a hugger?
Yeah.
Are you like, when you meet people, or do you hug? Or you're more
Yeah.
like, I don't really like your energy. If I don't like you, I don't get close to you.
I generally hug.
And like, do
Yeah.
you hold the hugs, or you just kind of hug and keep it moving?
Hold.
Got it.
I hold.
Oh, you hold. Okay. Because
Yeah.
I realized in my life, growing up in that, I'm from Baltimore, growing up in that busy energy, most people in my own environment, they don't know how to be present with things that might be different than the busyness of things, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And so, like, oh, hug. Like, yeah, I'll give you a hug. I'll give you a church hug, and then I'm keep moving, right?
Yeah.
I've gotten sometimes the
Right.
The
Right. The
distant,
distance.
relevant,
you just broke
relative.
my bubble.
I wanna share something that might be too much for the audience, but I mean, I think it might resonate with the women audience. Is that I had a client, within her vessel, she held a lot of tension, right? And I was like, when you hold tension, you hold weight, right? That was one aspect. But then there was a part where she couldn't cry, and she didn't want to cry. So then I was like, the fact that you're not allowing yourself to cry mean that you want to be in control. And you're afraid of not having control. But when you're in control the way you think you are, you're actually out of control, because control is controlling you. So I
Right.
said, you might have a problem releasing when it comes to intimacy. She's like, I do. I was like, it's all connected. So you don't feel safe to be, you don't feel safe to release, you don't feel safe to tears, fears, you don't feel safe to release anything, vulnerability, because you think it's keeping you out of your power. Well, actually, that's what all your power is here, is in a release. But if she don't feel safe within herself, she can never get to that part of her because she's judging it from what she's used to.
Yeah.
And so I was telling her, I was like, you gotta cry. Like, she was literally on the Zoom. I'm like, let him out. No one's judging. Like, you're good. And she's like, no one's ever done that for me. I was like, right. That's why I'm here I'm the practice. Like, it's cool. Like, literally this morning, I had a client say something and I cried.
I love
And
that.
I was like, damn. So I was like, you said that to your husband? Oh my God. When you speak from your heart, right? But I realized I couldn't have done that 2 years ago, 3 years ago, because I couldn't feel. I'm grateful to feel my feelings, but I could feel the energy coming through her. And I'm like, when she was telling the story, I was like, he blocked it. He couldn't really receive it either. But I say all that to say, but we simplify our life and our vessels, receiving, giving, being, thinking, whatever, and just kind of make it back to a human basic level that we want to be accepted, we want to be loved, and we want people to like us, right? But if we don't love and we don't accept and we don't like ourselves, go back to your story, you was in love with yourself. He told you, I love you. Now, the question is, in that space for you, was it because the masculine energy was telling you that? Or just because that's how you felt? Because if your sister would have tell you, well, you felt the same. So I'm learning as men and women, even if it's a brother, an uncle, a cousin, a father, having the other energy or the gender supporting us or giving to us in a healthy way actually help us receive more of ourselves. And some people can't relate to the other gender if they don't feel safe, right? And so spiritual fitness is really about you being safe in both parts of your essence, your masculine energy and your feminine energy, without judgment, but observation, to accept it, to create through that lens of self, whatever that is. And so it's designed for you to feel safe. Because when I'm in front of you, I'm just holding space and everything is coming through. Because I'm not judging what's coming up. I'm just like, cool, that's where we at. Like some clients might get into the space where they just cry and talk the whole workout. We might just walk. And I'm like, cool, we ain't got to work out. Let's just talk. Because that's what spiritual fitness is. I'm not trying to make you go hard for the whole hour. Maybe it's like, I just want you to express, and maybe you need to cry, and it's okay. I'm not judging. And then they feel lighter. They feel better. And they're like, oh my God, what was that? I was like, that's you tapping into you. I just held the space for you to feel safe with yourself. Because when you go to therapy, what do? You talk.
Yeah.
That's the real energy that needs to be moved. The words, the stories you tell yourself, the emotions, the thoughts. I mean, she knows. This is her expertise, you know? So I'm just honored. So permission.
That's awesome.
Yes, absolutely. Well, it's interesting because I just recently started being a lot more
Emotional.
Oh,
Yeah.
See, that's what I was picking up on.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, that's probably why she probably is it might be a challenge to be still, because maybe she's not in that space where she can be emotional, right?
Yeah, and what's funny is that I just had a call with a friend and I started crying, but
Yes.
like just tears, and I was like, and we were talking about something that was meaningful, and it was just like a normal ass thing, and we just kept talking, and then it was all, like, and then
That's awesome.
whatever. It was just like a fluid kind of thing, where before I would have just like not done that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what spiritual fitness is. Period. Like, that's just that right there. And that's what I'm saying. That part, without judgment, is you being spiritually fit in whatever that is of you. And you can just, wow, I needed that.
Yeah.
Jesus. And then imagine you do it again, and you do it again, and you do it again. Guess what's happening? You're going to recalibrate. Now you got to be in a higher frequency, because it's not holding you down or holding you back. you're like, wow, I can just release everything,
Feel
right?
lighter.
And feel lighter.
Lighter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's funny because it's happening with patients as well, where
Oh,
they're telling me stories and I'm experiencing something and I let that as well that come up as well and let it pass. I don't know how often they notice it though, but it's kind
yeah.
of been
Isn't that
something that's
you just helped me understand that because I've been this way for some time. I've very been, but when I can feel something and it comes through me, like it actually helps the person communicating feel even lighter because now you're connecting it so much back to them that now they really feel safe because you're like, oh, you're crying? What did I say? Yeah, keep going. Now we're in this together. And this is what I learned about the future of life as they talk about AI. These spaces that we're in are going to be the most prominent, the most influential, and the most profitable because in the new world we're in, a lot of us are on this and we're not actually present. So a
yeah,
real presence is when you're in these spaces. I got to listen to you, you got to listen to me, and I'm really available for you because I have to be.
right.
Whether it's an hour, 2 hours, where in life we can still be around people and not really, hey, what's going on? Hey, yeah, we're not present. But this
Mhm.
is what the world is missing is true intimacy. And this is what spiritual fitness does within the self. Bring you back to that intimate space where you can feel and witness all of you. And you'd be like, wow, I feel good. Like you said after the cry, like, wow, because you're there.
Yeah.
I can't wait to read it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, where can people find you?
We can go to ericbigger.com and book a discovery session 101. But most importantly, you can go to my Instagram at Eric Bigger, Eric ERICBIGGER. And you can go to Amazon to get this book, right?
That's where
Click
I
the
got
link and
mine.
yeah. And you could just I like to say now, I love people to go to my page and just experience my energy and they be the judge if I connect with them or maybe not. I was telling a guy today, I was like, he's like, what if you da da da? I was like, bro, I'm not in no rush, man. I'm not in no rush. I live that life. I'm in time and I'm on time. I'm on God's time. Was it meant to be, will be. And where I'm supposed to be, I will. But if I think I got to rush or scale fast, like, it's all going to happen. So my thing is to invite people into my social media feed, go to my website, do your due diligence, get the book, tell a friend, listen to this podcast, give yourself a permission to listen and
Exactly.
pivot
So,
and, you know,
talking about one last question I
yeah.
have for you, like a permission question.
Uh-huh.
What will you give the Eric version, younger Eric version of yourself, um, before he knew he was going to be this spiritually fit man, athlete? What permission slip will you hand him? Hey, take this.
That's a great question. I think I would say give yourself the permission not to put so much pressure on yourself. Put a lot of pressure on myself because deep inside, I could feel and I knew I was destined for something great and I was afraid, what if I didn't get it? I think around like 25, 26, 27. I was like, man, I got all this potential. And it was just like, I couldn't relax. It was like, I have to be something. So, I would read books and go to seminars and just study because I told my dad this not too long. I was like, Dad, it's not even on me, it's in me. Even if I wanted to chill and relax, my soul won't let me. So it's this constant evolution of like, okay, good job. Now we need you at the next level. And then we need you at, right? And so I put a lot of pressure on myself, a lot of pressure. I think in some instance it helped, but mostly it just stressed me out more. And I couldn't receive the things I accomplished or gained because I was still in that pressure cooker of always trying to get the next thing because I was looking for validation, right? So take the pressure off and just relax. It's all gonna happen. Even if you thought it was never, because that's how my life's been. How did I get in these spaces? They came into my life. And so it is. Just like you, how I met you, right?
Through your
How
friend
perfect.
Jake.
Yeah.
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 because of a plant medicine journey. So,
Yeah. This has been amazing,
Yeah.
and I'm so grateful, and I admire your work that you do with
Thank you.
men and in general with women too. And one of the things I remember being the first, because I went out with your friend Jake, and that's how
Yeah.
we ended up meeting. And we're having coffee. Well, he was. I don't drink coffee. I was having tea, and he had mentioned you 3 times. Like, hey, talking to you feels like talking to my friend Eric, and then we would keep talking for another 10 minutes, and then he would bring you up again, and at the end, the third time he brought you up, I'm like, all right, stop. Who is your friend Eric? Does he have an Instagram? Let me find.
Right.
And that's how it all came about. So big
Mhm.
shout out to Jake if he
Shouts out to
listens to this.
Jake, the Pisces, my guy. Yes, and it was the medicine, right? Because that's what connected us.
Yeah.
Peru,
Yeah, Peru.
Yeah.
Wachuma, St. Pedro. The
And
medicine brought us
also,
together.
your mom has my birthday.
Oh, that's right, January 24th. She's in the
January
book too. I'm
24th.
talking about her
Yeah.
and our journey and our relationship. So yeah,
That's nice. I can't wait to hear it.
yeah,
Okay, you do know we're Peruvian, right?
He does.
yeah.
Okay.
That's why I
I
said.
I have my
You
condor.
just reminded me, because remember when I got on the show and I was like, I met you guys before, and you're like, what? You didn't meet us, you met her. And I'm like, no, my soul has. So I forgot that you were Peruvian, because I just thought, yeah, she just was in Peru doing a journey, but that's who you are. So
Yeah.
I connect with that land and those people so much. It's like the food. Oh my God, I was shocked how great the food was.
Oh yeah, it's fire.
Yes.
I missed that place. So yeah, shouts out to Peru for sure.
Are you going back?
Yeah, at some point I will. I have to.
That's awesome.
You know, I love that
Ayahuasca
place.
retreat calling your name or no?
No, I'm not getting. I'm getting. What is it? Damn, what is it? Iboga. That's coming through.
Okay.
Iboga, yeah. Strong. I told you, my woman is a medicine woman, and she's done Iboga 10 times, several ayahuascas. But she's a womb healer, womb consciousness, so she's into all those things. So, yeah.
That's nice. Okay.
I'm not saying I avoid ayahuasca, but it doesn't come in for me for some reason.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not for it has to call you. Medicine has to call you.
Yeah. But St. Pedro, I think more men should take St. Pedro, because it's a gentle giant, and I think it's more gentle on the soul. Ayahuasca, that's why I hear it rips people apart. So yeah.
It sounds like we should be doing ayahuasca, Koi. Yeah.
We shall see.
Well, it was lovely to have you, Eric, and we hope to connect at some point in the near future.
After we read the book, we might have a couple of questions.
After we read the book, because I'm so ready for this book.
And more to come. And then you have spiritual fitness, love, and money. So it's so much. So I'm just like, take your time. Let this come out first.
That's what we have. Time.
Amazing. So this is all we have for you this week. The Spiritual Athlete.
Yes, let's get it.
And we hope that you take, the permissions that you need to be spiritual fit and get those reps in.
Reps and sets. Repetition is the mother of skill. Let's go.
And we'll be back next week.
With your permission.
Amen. So.
And that is all we have for you this week.
Make sure you follow Permission the Podcast.
And we'll be back next week with your permission.